We try our best to prepare for the whirlwind of difficulties we face throughout our life. From daily setbacks to long-term illness, we do what we can to make the bad days a little less difficult.
We're talking to Shamony's mom on a daily basis, multiple times a day. So as soon as, Shamony told her, like, listen, I'm having shortness of breath. It's hard for me to talk. It's hard for me to walk up the steps. Her mom was like, these are signs of having a pulmonary embolism.
When preparedness meets the blunt and sudden nature of the unexpected, we do our best to accommodate and accept this new path we're focused to navigate. Though many acclimate through resilience and the acceptance of what is, how do we find hope along the seemingly hopeless path?
Even though, we were also well informed, we went with the information given by, the experts, which was, she just probably needs to rest. She's probably overworking herself. She's probably doing too much. They said they can't really, evaluate her the way they need to. And again, like I said, 13 days later, she ended up passing away from a pulmonary embolism.
Every 6 minutes, somebody in America dies of a blood clot.
We're here to change that statistic. Welcome to Taking a Breath, a Stop the Clot podcast.
An award-winning podcast dedicated to bringing awareness of the dangers of blood clots from the clotting disorders community to the world.
With the help of many notable blood clot survivors, we are here to give you the knowledge and the skills you need to prevent this silent killer.
My name is Leslie Lake. I am the president of the National Blood Clot Alliance, and I am a blood clot survivor.
And my name is Todd Robertson. I am the patient engagement liaison for the National Blood Clot Alliance, and I am a 7-time blood clot survivor.
And we're here to stop the clot. Navigating tragedy is one of life's most difficult endeavors. The shifting from a reality you loved and knew so well into a world you never wished to be a part of creates a numbing dissonance that many of us, unfortunately, know all too well. Today, we are joined by someone whose courage and tenacity in the face of loss is nothing short of inspiring. Our guest today is a father, partner, artist, activist, and co-founder of the Area Foundation. Here to discuss the life and legacy of his partner, Shamony Gibson, please join me in welcoming the wonderful Omari Maynard.
My name is Omari Maynard. I am the father of Uriah, Anari, and Kari, and I am the son of Dolores and Elton. I'm the co-founder of the ARIA Foundation. ARIA stands for the Advancement of Reproductive Innovation through Artistry and Healing. And I'm just thankful to be here, thankful to be able to share my story, thankful for the opportunity to just be vulnerable with you all and, try to create systems where these type of conversations happen more often so that, just as a community, we're all better informed and understanding that everybody's going through something. So everybody's got to be able to willing to share their experience to help the next person. So thankful to be here. Shamony, amazing, amazing woman. Also very... Man, she could be a stubborn woman as well. Our relationship I always say that she was probably one of the very first of very few people where I remember the exact moment when I saw her. We both worked at the Police Athletic League, but we both worked at different sites. I was in a Brooklyn site, but she was at a different Brooklyn site. But we all had to get together for training in Harlem. While we were at the training, maybe the first or second day at the training, I saw her walking across the gym and I was in the bleachers. I was just like, oh my gosh, what the heck is that? She's beautiful. And then that was pretty much it. Maybe about a year later, I ended up actually getting transferred to her site. And then that's when we actually, built a friendship first, and just started kind of connecting that way. I didn't know it then, and again, because I don't remember moments like that, often. Just in retrospect and hindsight, I knew that she would be changing my life. So as far as our relationship goes, our relationship was like many other people. It started off great and then it was amazing. Definitely had that honeymoon phase where we, couldn't get enough of each other. She's super funny, very witty, fiery, said what's on her mind, but she was also very guarded, just dealing with, traumas that, she just dealt with having to grow up, so she wasn't always forthcoming with affection, with love, with touching, with letting people in, but she let me in, and I always appreciated that. And we started dating, and, like many young knucklehead men, I knew what I had, and enjoyed what I had, but also felt like I needed something else, and just didn't know what commitment was or how to do it, or just didn't know how to navigate it. So we ended up breaking up. And as soon as we did that, I was like, oh, this is not where I want to be. And, we ended up getting back together. Actually, it's very funny. During that time, I ended up leaving Police Athletic League. She ended up leaving as well. And then I got a job with Harlem Children's Zone, which was in Manhattan. So very likely that I would be seeing anybody from Brooklyn in that type of, situation to commute. But I ended up having to go to Michael's one day with my son, and we were walking to Michael's. I think it was like near Central Park, and she was coming down the block the other way, and she just so happened to leave Police Athletic League and getting a job at this organization called Goddard, which was also in the city, so that kind of sparked or rekindled our connection. And, ever since then, it was like we locked in. And that's exactly what it was. We were locked in and we started dating. And this time around, I want to say like it was April. We started dating in April of 2016 again. And I want to say by like June, we found out she was pregnant, and, so it was, it was really quick. And in hindsight, I'm extremely thankful for, the way everything played out. But, we really had to grow up in our relationship really fast. And there were a lot of things that I had to give up as a new father, having to give up the things that Omari wanted to do, and felt like he should do, in addition to having a relationship and building a family. But, just in retrospect, knowing that I had to shift, and didn't know how to do that shift. And, she was always pushing that shift, and it was like, man, we would bump heads, we wanted the same things, but we wanted to do them differently, and it took a lot of time trying to kind of figure out that balance again while, being in this new relationship, while, making sure that, she's covered, and making sure that our child was brought to this earth safely. Shamony she was a dancer. She danced she got a scholarship to go to LaGuardia, and then she ended up getting a college scholarship to Temple to dance. But, that wasn't a path that she wanted to do. But super funny, like she was funny, super witty, athletic, smart, just really thoughtful, thought about people all the time, just created space for everybody. Just her energy, it was infectious. She made sure that, she gave people space to be them, but also, just knew how to just light up a room and just, with her presence. Yeah. I'll rewind a little bit to talk about Inari's introduction to life first, but being introduced to this new family, right? And, we got me and Shamony, and learning who she was as a person, but more importantly for this conversation, learning about her family and her background, especially specifically, her mom, Shawnee. Shawnee's been in this maternal health space for decades. So she's done a lot of work around reproductive justice, reproductive health, talking about trauma, grief, all the things that come with conversations that don't necessarily happen, like conversations around having a conference called the Motherwit Conference, which is a conference to introduce conversations around stillbirth and miscarriages and releasing pregnancies, things that are kind of taboo to talk about in community. But, she created that space, and Shamony grew up in that space, so she had a very high level understanding of what is needed in terms of community and how you bring, life into the world and signs, symptoms, all that great stuff. With Inari, we had a team of doulas who helped in our process and going through like the gestation process and delivering and then postpartum. But, we ended up having Inari in the hospital. And even though we had a team of midwives, which was great because, people don't usually have an opportunity to have that, what we found out was that we needed somebody With midwives or anybody who's helping you in that type of capacity, you grow attached to them, So like the team concept wasn't really good for us because we were expecting to see somebody when we go in for visits and to be somebody else. We were expecting somebody in the living room who wasn't necessarily there and to be somebody else, or like they'd have to shift. So it was great and it was very important because we had information, we had informed, we had a team to help us, through the process. But we knew that the second time around, we wanted just one midwife and one doula. And we wanted to have an at-home birth because we did not have a great experience at the hospital that we gave birth to Omari in. So now we knew we wanted to have another child or multiple children. Kari wasn't the most planned pregnancy that I've been a part of, but it wasn't necessarily planned. So when we found out that she was pregnant again, it was like, oh snap, are you serious? But it was like, all right, this is great. Round two, we're doing it again. And at that point, as a partner, as a parent, I was just way more informed and excited about this, this second time around, or third time around for me, but second time around for us. Because, I knew what the expectations were. And I knew that as far as creating this family unit, we were locked in, So ended up getting a midwife. She was great. So we had our one midwife we had our one doula, and the midwife organization that we used was like right up the block from me. We go in for visits. I went to every visit, went to every OBGYN visit, went to every midwife visit. And when we went, doula visit, when we went, it was a group of other families as well. So we had an opportunity to share our experiences with other families who were going through the same thing as we were. So Shamony was healthy, she was ready, we were walking, she was working out. We had a better understanding of the things that we needed this time around. So, we were well informed and ready. Shamony ended up having a C-section with Omari. So we wanted to try to have a natural birth, or a VBAC, which is a vaginal birth after C-section with Kari. And that was the plan. We had our birthing plan, we had our birthing team, so we were just ready to execute. And then one night her water broke and it was like, oh snap, it's time. So we had set up the house, set up the pool in the house, called our doula, called our midwife. So when Shamony's water breaks, and we wait, counting the contractions. After a while, instead of the contractions getting closer together, they started to get further apart or just kind of stagnant. And the midwife came, she came to the house for a couple minutes and she was just like, you know what, just hold tight. But if they get worse, we're going to have to, or if nothing happens, if the contractions don't get closer together, we're going to have to go to the hospital. That was fine. We also did researches on hospitals and we wanted to go to a hospital that had the lowest percentage of C-sections for birthing. So we ended up having to do that. And we went, but still, our doula was present. And, we were hoping for the best, and I think more than anything in that whole process for anybody who's giving birth, right? We all have a plan. I shouldn't say we all have a plan. We all have something in mind of expectations of what this is supposed to look like and supposed to be, right? And sometimes that doesn't always work out. And I think with that said, the most important thing is that you are able to bring a healthy baby, a healthy child into the world, right? And if that happens, then the plan has been executed. So, we go to the hospital and we wait. And the thing is that with hospitals, unfortunately, they don't always give you the time that you need because birthing is birthing. Some women, bing, bang, boom, 30 minutes, they in and out, baby's here, and others, it's bing, bang, boom, 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 ting, ting, ting. The baby comes on its own time. And unfortunately, like I said, hospitals don't give you that, they don't afford you that ability for the simple fact that they need to flip beds, and they got people coming in and out all the time, so they waited as long as they could. And, we eventually had to get a C-section. So it was like, all right, it's not what the plan was, but Shamony's feeling good. It's time for the baby to come, so let's do it. So we ended up having to get a C-section. But the thing is that we didn't really have any relationship with the doctors, there because we were planning on having a home birth. So the doctor came in. I couldn't tell you his name, couldn't pick him out in the lineup if you asked me to. But the thing is that Shamony, she had webbing, which is scar tissue on the uterine lining from our previous C-section. So when it was time for her to cut Kari, well, it was time for the doctor to cut her open to bring Kari through. It just took a little bit longer than usual to get through the scar tissue. And then once they got Kari out, the doctor decided to take some of Shamony's fibroids out as well. And at the time, I thought, hey, it's great, 2 for 1. If we want to have another child, there won't be any blockage, or they'll, be less likely to have a different type of outcome for pregnancy because of the fibroids. But in hindsight, I learned that, this is a whole separate surgery. Fibroids are living parts of your body that, if cut or cut improperly, can cause massive bleeding. And I think, honestly, that was kind of the beginning of her demise. She was already open for too long trying to get through the scar tissue. And then again, having her fibroids taken out, it was more opportunity for more air to get in. Instead of sewing her up, for some reason, they ended up using up staples. She ended up passing away 13 days later due to blood clots moving and her going into cardiac arrest. She ended up passing away from a pulmonary embolism. But between those 13 days, because again, our family is well informed, we know what the signs and symptoms are. We're talking to Shamony's mom on a daily basis, multiple times a day. So as soon as Shamony told her, like, listen, I'm having shortness of breath, it's hard for me to talk, it's hard for me to walk up the steps, her mom was like, well, these are signs of having a pulmonary embolism. And because, her mom is so active in the community, we knew the head of the maternity ward at the hospital that we gave birth at. So we're able to call them, on the cell phone and say, like, this is what's going on, this is what's happening, what should we do? Even though, we were also well informed, we went with the information given by the experts, which was, she just probably needs to rest. She's probably overworking herself. She's probably doing too much. So just have her lay down and just cover her. So that's exactly what we did, But in hindsight, of course, if you're resting and you have blood clots moving through your body, it creates space for them to move faster and be more aggressive. But also between that time, we were also going back and forth to the hospital and telling the doctors exactly what was going on and what should we do. And every time we went, because it wasn't Shamony's follow-up, they said they can't really evaluate her the way they need to. And again, like I said, 13 days later, she ended up passing away from a pulmonary embolism. But I know that the silver lining for me is that during that time, Shamony's mom was like, listen, we're going to listen to the doctor. So what we're going to do is we're going to have family come over. We're going to have friends come over, keep y'all company, clean up the house, bring food, all that great stuff. So those last couple of days, the first day, her best friend came over and we chopped it up and, she brought us food and we were laughing and hanging out and having fun. And then Shamony's mom was there as well. And then the second day, or the day she ended up transitioning or going into cardiac arrest, her god sister was at the house, her mom was at the house, and her aunt was at the house, So, we were all laughing, talking, having fun, and then Shamony's like, listen, man, like my chest really hurts. We got to go to the hospital. So as I'm packing the bags, that's when she ended up going into cardiac arrest in the house, and I bring that up to say that if I was in the house by myself, 2 babies, my partner, I don't know if I'd be sitting here with y'all today having this conversation. I don't know what I would have done if I was by myself. And, having this conversation with Shawnee, she also said the same thing. Like, I'm just so thankful I had the opportunity to be with my daughter on her last final days. I don't know what I would do if I got a phone call from you telling me, like, this is what's going on and you need to get down here as fast as you can, and, having that situation occur. It's funny because I was having this exact conversation the other day about how I've changed, how I'm not the same person that I was in many capacities and aspects of my life. And I'm just so glad that I had an opportunity to have these moments. But like months before she passed away, we were arguing about something. I don't know, arguing about whatever, couples argue about. And we go to sleep and I wake up in the morning and I'm looking in her eyes and just captivated. And I'm thinking, like, in my mind, I was thinking, like, this is where I want to be. There's no other place that I want to be, and no other person I would want to be with. And months later, she passes away. And oh man, I remember walking out the hospital, and the sun was shining, and my dad was it was my dad and my best friend. They were walking on the sides of me, and walking out the hospital thinking that I will never be the same person. Like, this is going to forever shift and change. And I think about other men who have gone through loss and suffered loss in a similar fashion. It's very different, because I lost my grandmother pretty much a year to the day after losing Shamony. And my grandmother is 92. And I thought she would live forever. Just an amazing person. And I miss her and think about her often. But I bring that up because it's a totally different experience when somebody who you have an opportunity to meet and grow this whole new experience and have these life-shifting and life-changing experiences with, in conjunction with them. And, they suddenly are not here anymore. In addition to now raising this new life that you all had, this plan that you were going to be doing together. And now that whole plan is out the window. And so I'm just thankful for community. I'm thankful for all the covering that I got. The reason that I was able to be an advocate, the reason why I was able to shift my life, I had to quit teaching, I had to do a lot of different things, was the only way I was able to do it was because of community. I was covered in a way that I know other people don't have the opportunity to be covered. I was getting phone calls, text messages. People were showing up with gift cards. People were showing up with diapers and Pampers. I had diapers for like a year. Being covered by community, and like I said, the knowing that, the GoFundMe that we had, the diapers, the wipes, the phone calls were still all coming in, the meal trains, so there were certain things that I didn't have to think about. And then lastly, having the opportunity to be covered by my job. And in addition to having COVID, I was able to be home, and that gave me an opportunity to plan and figure things out and really sit with myself, really sit with my grief, really sit with my trauma, and figure out how I was going to have to shift in creating this new life for myself and my family. I'm an artist, Shamony's an artist. I was teaching at the time, but like 3 years prior, we started a business called Artful Living. And Artful Living is basically a lifestyle brand where we would use art and artistic modalities to create community. So we would do sip and paints, we would do t-shirt making, we would do glass etching, we would do wood carving, we would do speed dating, we would do anything that you could think of to be able to create community. And that showed me, one, that we both could use art as a way to express ourselves, but as a way to also create income, generate income, and build this business together, which also created a different avenue for our relationship to grow as well.
Wow. I'm like crying and laughing and all kinds of different emotions listening to this. I mean, it's incredible. You touched on something earlier about pulmonary embolism, and we're the National Blood Clot Alliance, so obviously we're talking about blood clots. But there's something bigger here, which is maternal health, and in particular, Black maternal health. And so talk to us about kind of what I perceive to be the forgotten group of people, which are the men and the fathers that are actually impacted by this. Because we don't talk a lot about this. And so, in your words, in your mind, in your feelings, what role can men play in this maternal health advocacy? I don't think people realize how serious this is in our country, a country that has so much, and yet this is happening at our doorstep. So what role can men play? Because it can't be just women out there saying, hey, this is a problem. Like, everybody's got to be buying into this, that this is a big issue here.
Yeah, most definitely. It's a huge issue. And unfortunately, like, I think that talking about it is taboo. Like, Black and brown women Indigenous women are 3 to 4 times more likely to pass away due to maternal health complications than our white counterparts, right? And the numbers show that it's, roughly 800 to 900 women a year, and those are the ones that are documented. But this bigger conversation is maternal morbidity. Like maternal morbidity is, we start to 10x that number. So it's hundreds of thousands of women who are suffering these near-death experiences and now have these traumatic experiences. And Shamony was one of those people with our first baby. But because, I think C-sections and just giving birth in hospitals and kind of just having this one cookie cutter model is so prevalent in our community that we don't even think about the trauma that comes with it if it does not go right. For the mother, and also for the birthing partner, right? Because the birthing partner is traumatized, but also has to be there for their partner who is dealing with this traumatic situation as well. And I think that, I know that it's so commonplace that people don't really understand the power of their own stories, right? And their powers of being able to share those stories so that other people can resonate with them and then can get together or create other opportunities for, bigger conversations to happen, which is how do we change the medical model, right? And so that's one. One is, just people just don't feel like it's that serious, I guess. But I think that from a partner standpoint, which is, like I said, we don't really talk about it when you're, especially this very, like I said it earlier, it's very special, different circumstance, when you lost somebody and you're bringing new life into the world, right? And, now as a man, you don't, the plan goes out the window and you don't necessarily know how to deal and handle. And I think on top of that, you feel like kind of the only person who's going through this. So there's not really too many people you can talk to about it wholeheartedly. We as men don't give ourselves enough opportunities to create space where we can be as expressive as we need to be. Sometimes it sucks. This is hard. And that is it. Like there is no gambit, right? There is no real space where it's like, I'm dealing with this, and that. I don't know how to do this, and that. And not necessarily even trying to find answers for it, but just saying the thing out loud, where now you have an opportunity to honor that emotion, honor those feelings, because it's extremely valid. And then, figure out how to shift. And I know that for me, it really changed my life because I didn't have to carry that burden by myself. I didn't have to sugarcoat those feelings because I knew that they would be honored and protected. And I knew that I could get, if not answers, at least empathy from other men. And I wanted to make sure that I passed that on because I knew that was a special thing. So fast forward about 6 months later, Amber Isaac Rose ends up passing away. And her partner, Bruce McIntyre, was left with, this baby, and it was an amazing child, and also lost his partner, So I wanted to make sure that I was afforded him the same opportunity that I had. And I called him, and we talked, and me and him have a very special bond to this day. And being able to do that, I knew that there was a need for it. It was, just kind of a matter of if you don't see it, then, you got to build it. With our foundation, we started a subset called, the Luxor Collective, where we meet virtually every other Thursday, and I invite men who have suffered from trauma and loss and grief through the medical system to sit and just have conversations about life. We've been doing it for the last 2 or 3 years now, and it's shifted from that to, in addition to creating space for men to just talk to other men, other Black men specifically, to talk to other Black men, because we harbor so much grief and trauma of just being Black in America, honestly, and don't really have space where we can have those conversations with how do we honor our feelings? How do we grow from them? How do we use them? How do we utilize them? How do we impart our wisdom on other people? How do we You just say the things that are on people's mind, but you don't even know because, there was no space to have that conversation in the first place. In doing that, you see like, and it becomes heavy sometimes, but you see like you don't know what you need until you get it sometimes, right? And you see the need for me specifically, I could talk about myself, but I could also talk about the men who's in the space, the need to just consistently work through your emotions, because we're dealing with so much as a society every day. We don't realize how heavy the world can be on us sometimes. So it just takes an hour, hour and a half sometimes to just sit with your feelings and sit with others and just talk or just listen, but giving you the fuel to be able to learn how to navigate and just grow as an individual on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to create better situations for yourself, for your family, and then, ultimately community. It's a really powerful thing, and it's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing, and you're creating something very, very special. How do you want medical professionals to better understand patient care for Black women in particular? You've created this group, this community. You've lived something that most people haven't and never will. What do you want these medical professionals to know?
So, and I'm gonna say this, but I also just want to preface it first because I spoke about it, touched on it earlier a little bit, with our midwife and our doula, and I know this is true for the medical community as well, right? For doctors, nurses, medical professionals, doctors particularly, they're held in high regard, but it's not what it used to be. And a lot of them are just overworked. A lot of them are overworked, understaffed, doing doubles, doing triples. And it takes a toll on the body. It takes a toll on the mental. And it takes a toll on your emotional capacity to be empathetic and sympathetic sometimes. And when that happens, and the concern is, what do I need to do so that I can sustain myself, sometimes overarches what does my patient need in order for them to get what they came here for, so that we don't have to, have this situation reoccurring. And, sometimes when that happens, or compassion for anybody, it just kind of falls to the wayside sometimes. So I would say that one, I understand the plight, but this is also something that you signed up for, right? And it's important that when people come in for care, regardless of whether they have private insurance or Medicaid or Medicare or no insurance at all, or is dealing with psychological issues or physical issues or disabilities, or we all need and deserve the proper care for us to be able to be, productive members of the society. That doesn't happen all the time because there is stigmas that come with who is deserving and who isn't. With the medical community or just medical history in general, Black and brown people have always not given the things that they need when it comes to maternal health care, pushing midwives and granny midwives and doulas out the door because they don't have accreditation, and then bringing in this medical model so that we can birth, it creates a space of cultural disconnect. And when we're compounding on that with all the other things that, we're dealing with in the medical system, it just creates situations like that I've been in and many other, men and women and families have been in. I would say that one, it's important to just step back and just have compassion, but also two, it's important to ask for help and guidance. I know that, when we talk about birthing specifically, midwives and doulas, they're part of every system except the United States, right? And it's working in so many different places. There are so many different examples of what it looks like and how it's beneficial for everybody, that's partaking in it. But it's not a model that we're using here, and I pray that with this pushing or, with maternal health being a kind of a hot button topic over the last couple of years, that birthing options and birthing teams become more prevalent, right? So having midwife and a doula and a nurse and a doctor and a lactation consultant and a therapist working in conjunction to help create better systems for us. I pray that comes about. And in addition to your question earlier, how do you bring in fathers into the fold so that they are not only informed, but acknowledged, and creating systems where paternal health is also as important, right? Where you have this curriculum for fathers to take care of themselves and their partner and their, newborn once they come, specifically during postpartum, because postpartum is where we're losing most of our women. It's imperative. It has to happen in order for us to really create the shift that we all want to see.
Yeah, I think you're right. It is imperative. It needs to be included, and there's just not enough conversation about it.
Yes, definitely.
Talk to us about Aftershock, how that came to be, what it was, how it's influenced you, how people can learn more about it, because it is a very powerful, powerful thing.
Yes, thank you. So Aftershock, if you have not seen Aftershock, go check out Aftershock. It is streaming on Hulu right now. And it's a beautiful documentary. It's an amazing documentary. We won a Peabody Award. We were Emmy nominated. We won a slew of other awards in film festival and part of many different film festivals with the documentary. But the documentary follows myself, Shamony Gibson, and Bruce McIntyre in our maternal health story. Pretty much from the beginning, Shamony passed away October 11th, 2019, which is also the same day as my birthday. We were provided the opportunity to film on December 19th, 2019, which is her birthday, because we created an event called Aftershock. And, the producer of the film, Paula Eisel, came to just see, because she was like, I want to create a film around maternal health. But she saw what we did with our community event called Aftershock. And she said that, I want to follow your family. So it was really kind of from the rawest moments of of our lives. This is 2 months after Shamony passed away, and they followed us for about a year and a half. It goes through all of the emotions. It is, it was the worst time of my life, to be honest. I was losing weight. My bed was all over the place. I couldn't think straight. But I'm so happy that people got a chance to see, what grief and growth look like, right? What grieving and leading looks like. And the fact that what community engagement looks like in this maternal health space, because it's so important. And having that first conversation with Bruce and me and him chopping it up that first night, he told me that he had to bury Amber on his birthday as well. So when you have those type of things that are in alignment, it's really like, as much as we both maybe didn't want to be in this space and want to do this work, it was like Shamony and Amber was like slapping us both in the face saying, this is what you're
doing it.
Do. I don't care what you think. This is happening. So as horrific as it sounds and as hard as it was, the knowing that somebody else actually had to go through this, and more importantly, like somebody that I connected with, outside of even having that initial conversation, it was just confirmation that we're on the right path, and that more importantly, as men, we need to be advocates in this space for not just women and reproductive justice and maternal health, but also how do we create a full an opportunity to bring fathers into the fold in a more intentional way. But it's a beautiful film. Please go check it out. It'll change your life. It goes through the history of maternal health care, reproductive health, transition to granny midwives, to having births in hospitals, and then how we can create more opportunities for birthing centers, for birthing options, for just people having a better understanding of what healthcare looks like, now in 2025, and systems that can be put in place for us to redirect birthing outcomes.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredibly well done. It's beautiful. I've watched it so many times. For everybody listening to us here today, it's Aftershock. It's on Hulu. I was at a conference last year all clinicians, all doctors, et cetera, in the audience. And I actually spoke about maternal health in this country. And it was amazing to me how many people didn't realize the impact of the problem. And it's not that they didn't care, they didn't know. And so here I am as a layperson talking about my pulmonary embolism. And I'm like, hey, you guys all need to know about this. And I played pieces of Aftershock. And they were like, we didn't know. And so that reached people, which will reach more people, which will reach more people. And yes, we're talking about pulmonary embolism at the National Blood Clot Alliance, but it's bigger than that, right? It's bigger than that. Omari, thank you for joining us here today. This has been an incredible conversation. You're going to reach so many people. I know we're going to save lives because of this episode. Please keep doing the incredible work that you're doing. And I just want to say, we want to work with you. We want to raise awareness around this terrible issue. This is more than just blood clots and pulmonary embolism. This is, something that at a national level should not be happening in our country. Women should not be dying. Maternal mortality should not be an issue in this country. And it's going to take all of us together to make sure that this stops. But we have the power to do it together. So thank you. We want to thank Omari one more time for sharing his journey and illuminating us with the legacy and light of Shamony Gibson. As always, thank you for joining us on another episode of Taking a Breath. For more information on risks, prevention, and community, please visit stoptheclot.org. And if you wish to aid in our efforts of blood clot awareness, please consider donating to our cause at stoptheclot.org/donate.
We know the patient because we are the patient. Together with listeners like you, we can collectively stop the clot.
For more information, visit stoptheclot.org. Another Everything Podcast production. Visit everythingpodcast.com, a division of Pattison Media. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast.